arrested me 2020, November 14. November 14. So as the answers finished, now they arrest me. They arrest me for where I say my market, now they arrest me. I say Akubi, I say trouser. So they arrest me. As they arrest me now, Ojo, front of Ladipo. So they arrest me and take me to SAS office. So from there, they torture us very well. So from there now, they now take us to Grand Fighter. From Grand Fighter, they take us to Amolongo in Oyo. So from there again, they still transfer us to Agodi. So they say we do answers protest. They say our offenses they charge us na housing, murder, and stealing. Housing, murder, and stealing, and they charge us. We did Amolongo. We did it for 7 months before they can transfer us to Agodi. So all of them together are 2 years and 3 months. I'm used inside prison. In the prison, so many things happen because no freedom in the prison, and we suffer a lot. There's too much pain for everyone of us. We suffer. No water, no food, no movement, no freedom. The one that affected me most is that I lost my mom in this case. I lost my mom and I have nobody that is standing for me. I am not part of those that do protest. I was just arrested in my business place. And I thank you for the support of everybody that assist us for us to have our freedom today. Moving forward now is that to start my business back. I need help, support. I need support from the people to help me to start my business back. Because since this thing happened, I've lost so many things. So I need support from the government to help me to start again.
On the 14th November 2020. Ilé ni wọ́n ti wá mú ìyàtọ̀. Wọ́n ní àwọn náà wà lára àwọn ikọ̀ tó ṣe NSAS. Àwọn náà wà lára wọn. Ìjọba charge wa fún ìwà ṣe wà lọ sí SARS. Láti SARS. Wọ́n wà lọ sí prison. Ní prison, bá a ṣe dé SARS. And 1 month. After the 1 month, we were to court. After the court, we were to prison yard. Because we got Nigeria. Àti àwọn tó jẹ́ àwọn alátìlẹ́yìn wa tí ọ̀rọ̀ wa fi padà já sí ìnira lọ àgbò 2 years 2 months. Prison, experience to pọ̀ prison gan. Experience to pọ̀ gan. Prison relationship tí ó dá kọ́ ọmọlúwàbí máa ń lọ ní àwọn àsìkò kan ó dá prison yard ó tún corrupt many people but mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ náà pé ọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan kò mí ọ̀ sí lára àwọn olùṣe protest dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó ṣe alátìlẹ́yìn wa Solomon Emiola from starting ó dúró sí wa ó ṣiṣẹ́ àtàwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan náà tí wọ́n jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ lórí wa tàbí kúrò nínú wàhálà àdúgbò fún wọn.
My name is Solomon Emiola at Padediran, the state coordinator for Take It Back movement in Oyo State. NSAS protest started October 6. The kickstart at Dube area, then it's spring forth across the state. in which every individual participated, directly or indirectly. During the process, I remember vividly that the first incident was on October 10. That was the case of Jimo Isiaka at Olumosho. He was the first victim of police brutality, in which he was gunned down and another 4 persons, make it 5 because we record 5 deaths. Then after that, some individuals were arrested with the help of Operation Burst and some other security agency, and they were brought down to Ibadan. Information reached us that they have 3 persons at Iyagaku, and we swing to action. We call our lawyers, and they start the process. 3 persons were released that day. Unfortunately, they said those released were not their families, that the names of their families has not been released, that we should still go back. Unfortunately, we discover we have another extra 9, and they were charged before a magistrate court. Their case was struck out, and they were released back to their home. Then the protest continued. On the 19th, a protest ought to have happened at Ojo roundabout there, but there was an instruction that nobody should start protest at Ojo. Then they should wait till 20. On 20, they started the protest, and one protest was launched at Ajibode also. While at Ajibode, expecting to come down to our own territory here, which is Ojo, to come and ignite, to start the protest, we start hearing all this noise, fear, so distant, etc. But one thing I could remember vividly is that when they start the protest, it is peaceful. These guys were playing football because we have some persons there giving us feedback of how the protest is being organized. They were playing football. Then someone climbed should I call it a billboard, to write answers on it, and they picked up the guy. Then from there, it led to tug of war. How will you arrest protesters at the barricade? And immediately they start the scene. Some individuals called me on phone. I remember vividly then that, hello, they arrest so person. Will you be coming down to get these individuals released? And I said, no problem. If that's the case, we'll be coming. So before I leave Ajibode, they've done everything to tug of war. All I could hear is gunshots, left and right. People running helter and skelters. Houses closer to the stations were being set that they are going to punish this and that, etc. The police were shooting. They called the service of Ododo Barak to come and rescue the DPO in person of Alala David. He is now Assistant Commissioner of Police. Immediately after the incident, he was promoted to the position of Assistant Commissioner of Police. Here we brought to the state government the question of, does massacre occur at Ojo or not? That's the first question. 2, the victims, the guys that died on 2010-2020 at Ojo roundabout, where are their dead bodies? Does state government or the police or your state command conduct a mass burial for these individuals or not? That's the second question. The third question is, justice needs to prevail. Without justice, there won't be peace. And I think they dance to the tune of that slang, which makes them to release this or your 9 that is left on 10th of January. And don't forget that during the trials, they spent 13 days at SARS office at Dube, and they were under torture. When we went to visit them at Apolongo, we saw the stripes at their backs, in which, due to the fear of the state agents and some apparatus, these individuals might not be able to review these informations, but they also know that it happens. Even while at the court premises, one their IPO Felix was threatening to waste them all, in which he confronted us at the court. But along the line, we give glory to God and those freedom fighters. I give kudos to Yele himself, who gave me the courage to keep fighting, because I almost gave up at the long run. When they brought up the charge, they give us 5 counts. I was like, how is this possible? These individuals did not participate in the protest. And if after all they participated in the protest, they have the right, it is their constitutional right, that is cited in chapter 4 of the Constitution. So there is no one who needs to threaten one another for exercising his own constitutional right to protest. And on this note, we call on Oyo State government to give us the evidence. It should release the NSAS report, whether valid or not. 2, the white paper presentation. He has been on the NSAS report for the past 2 years now, giving us abracadabra anytime he wants to engage on NSAS memorial. They will release a report saying this and they've done so to the NSAS, they've do this, they did this. Where is the official report? We need to see it. Lagos State did their own. We also want to see Oyo State's own. So far they can declare that there is massacres, Lekki stop it. There is need for Oyo State to also pronounce if massacre occur at Ojo or not. And it now depends on the people if they accept the report or it was rejected. Actually, the position is so clear and succinct. We don't need to deceive ourselves. Oyo State is playing devil's advocate, in which is being replicated by the Department of Deputy Prosecutor's Office DPP, in which we also can attest to the fact. Don't forget that when you allege someone of a crime, it is only the court that have the right to convict and discharge. And so far that you allege someone doesn't mean that the person is a criminal. And the question we keep asking is, where are your evidences? We appear before 2 justices. Justice Mashood Abbas. They kickstart the trial, but he was unable to complete the trial before he was promoted as the president of Court of Appeal. Second Justice Laden Akintola, he has never opened the trial for once before he was transferred to Odumosho. The third justice now, which shows that these individuals fail in their own responsibility to interrogate and get the facts. Imagine if the police are also the investigator, they are still the same person who are the prosecutor. And when we engage the Ministry of Justice, they make this analysis, they make it come reality that our proposal is valid, our points are legit. Because when these guys are being interrogated, none of their officers are there to stand as a witness or to strike the balance as it is being as is established in the Constitution. Fair hearing. For the fact that you arrest me doesn't mean you prosecute me the way you want. I should have my own representative when it comes to investigation or interrogation. So on the side of the government, they fail woefully. They've not done what they ought to do. The charges are too bogus and they need to keep it to themselves. And if they want to go by that, this is what they need to do. They should first prosecute Alalade David for shooting when protest has not yet started on the 19th of October 2020. And second, they should look for Sunday, the main court priest, who spearheaded the shootings. Imagine if you said these guys stole away 100 mml or 6 mml bullets. How do they measure that? Have they forgotten that the bullet is in the custody of the police? How do they get to the place to get the bullet? And have they forgotten that that day people were scared because of the gunshots coming left, right, and center, which means that automatically we don't need to even look for any evidence again. The bullets in which they said these individuals stole were being used by this police officer. If they did not use the bullets, why do they keep them? Why did they went into asylum? These are questions that the state government and the commissioner of police also needs to answer. If truly you know the number of officers that died that day, accepted is 2 persons as they said. What about the civilians? Justice is not to be one-sided. It should be for all. So far the police is on the other side, the civilian also. What happened to the parents of those guys that died on 2010-2020? Has there been any compensation to these victims?
Very much. My name is Comrade Kyle Babayoni, the state chairman of the African National Congress in Oyo State. Regarding NSAS and how the 9 guys that were just released 3 days ago, all knew about what happened, but just a pity that some people still believe the involvement of the state governor during the NSAS, that he also participated in the NSAS protest, which I can say that he stepped into the NSAS protest, just to stylishly halt the process. Not that he's doing it for God or he's doing it for the masses. And regard their release, we've been on the case for like 2 years and 3 months now, but thank God, finally justice is set. They know the game and they know what they are doing. All I will say is that it is time for Nigerians to look on the side of people that always stand with them in time of oppression, in time of tribulations like this. So it is time for the good people of Nigeria to look at African Action Congress, AAC. What we have to give people is freedom, and that is the gospel we have been preaching. What we have at hand is to give liberty to the people. We don't have rice, we don't have beans, we don't have money. But what we have is to give the power to the people, is to give freedom so that everyone will be liberated.